I don't know what I love more, scalding hot coffee, room temperature coffee, or an ice brew. I like them all. But the problem is, though, is that with scalding, I have to slow down life because I'll burn my gizzard. With room temperature, I kind of guzzle a little bit more than what I should. And with cold brew, oh, it's down. It's gone. It's like when you were a child. All right, let's go a little bit later than that, okay? It's like when you were in your late teens. No, let's go even older than that. It's when you were after 21 and you put a nail in the bottom of a beer can and you pop the top and it was like gone in seconds. That's what a cold brew is to me. It's like, get that stuff in me, man. Get to work right now. The only reason why you're even anywhere near me is because I need that action. I need that inside my head. Oh, what we do to find our ups. Our ups. Red Bulls to Monster drinks. I mean, there are so many different power drinks out there now. There are some that I don't even want to even try. I'm so afraid that it's just going to make my body ache. That's like those workout powders. Have you done those? I tried to do it just to get a rush so I can have the energy to do what it is that I do throughout my day. I didn't do it to have a workout. And it was like, no, I can't do it. It just makes the body hurt too much. Writing gives me a good rush, but if I bring up writing and tell you how great it is, big chance you're going to turn me off, so I don't even want to go there. But outside of that, how are you? Are you doing good? Are you doing great? My master in martial arts, Sabadam, used to say all the time, you know what the difference is between good and great? About this much. Basically, that was his way of saying it's a choice. Winning is a choice. Hey, it's Arrow. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. We talk about subjects that deal with our everyday now, but most of the time, most people don't talk about it because they feel like that, well, I'm the only one. And if I walk into a conversation and I say blah, 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 people are going to go, what? Because you binge watch TV, and that's not the way people are talking. First of all, let me tell you something. Binge watching these rom-coms and these sitcoms and things like that, that's not the everyday world. We're not all sitting around in a bar chumming it up like that. We're not all having these kinds of conversations like Jerry Seinfeld does. But you know what, though? In a really weird way, we do have conversations, but we tend to drop them off before we even give them somebody else to hold on to. This is The Daily Mess. Who's the driver of your car? Not the one that you purchased from a dealership. I'm talking about you. Who is the driver of you? Where are we planting your thoughts? How long can you stay in those thoughts? Should we bother asking questions about who's driving your car? I mean, every day is a new moment of learning. Are we personally driving our own vehicles? Or are we the passengers in a very fast spaceship designed to ignore time? See, this is the reason why I like to write. To not only document a step, but to learn how to identify the presence of all things that are right now. Because within minutes, it's all going to change. By the time that I reach this recording studio where I presently am right now, and the writer was way back then, all that I am right now will have evolved into the shape of something brand new. In fact, let me compare that to you, okay? I started writing at 7:19 this morning. The current time right now is 8:21, so an hour has gone by, and the writer knew that by the time we got into this studio, the podcast guy would be different. He wouldn't be the same person. How do you accept that kind of change? Who I am right now has evolved into the shape of something new. Andrew Ashwood, a program director and general manager of mine back in the 1990s, he always told me to get used to change, or there's the door. Well, it prepared me for more than just an out-of-control radio career, but a life and style that can only change if the traveler is willing to grow with the wider universe. I've never been that one that finds joy in being the same. Each tick on the clock is a new gift from God. So what I like to do is I like to spread my wings and I like to fly. Each morning, Jazzy and I take our walk through this forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina. We have a hawk. And this hawk he loves attention. He loves getting our attention, and he loves showing off the beauty of his flight. And he will soar within 6 feet of us, right in front of us, making this beautiful noise that just shatters the core of your heart because it's so loud. But I'm jealous of this hawk because the hawk spreads its wings and it allows itself to fly. Whereas the human tends to weigh itself down with a past or a future that it can't change or right, with a moment in time that it can't seem to shake. But we like to sit and wait, W-A-I-T this time, because we think fate is going to bring the success toward us, when in fact we should be working toward it every day. Each tick on the clock is a new gift from God. Spread your wings and fly. What would it take for you to grasp onto that type of a mindset, where it's not about what you didn't do yesterday, but rather what you could be doing in the moments ahead? I love that the writer took the attention off from himself on this page and said, who I am right now is not who I'm going to be when I reach the recording studio. Because the writer is right. And by the time you receive this, which I don't know what day it's going to be, it could be December 2025, but when it reaches you, how will you interpret what was once shared on a sheet of paper? I always think of the origin of it all, and that is that seed that somehow made it into the soil. What got it into the soil? Was it a windstorm that happened to bury it the day that it fell from the tree? What got the seed into the soil? Luckily, there was enough rain that fell to the earth, and that seed was able to become a seedling, and then it eventually began to grow in a forest where there's barely any sunlight ever, because there are so many trees, and the umbrella is just big, beautiful, and hot. And yet, that tree made its way through time. And from that tree, it sacrificed its life to become a page that sat in front of a thinker, a writer. And from that came words on a page. And an hour later, we're talking about it. I'm blown away by that. I love that expression of conversation growing forward, because now it rests in your hands. How do you receive it? How do you let it grow inside your personal forest? That's what this is about. Who is the driver of your car? Where are we planting our thoughts? How long can we stay? Should we be asking questions? I mean, every day is a new moment of learning. Are we personally driving our own vehicles, or are we the passengers in a very fast spaceship designed to ignore time? I'm Arrow, and that's the Daily Mess.